There we go. Make sure we're live. Give me a second. All right, cool. We're live. Just make sure the stream's coming through. Excellent. Perfect. How's everybody doing? I got a few questions I'm gonna go over. To start, David, these are yours. Don't worry about it. You're up front since you're pretty faithful about asking these questions in advance. Um, so hold on. All right. Sorry. So first question, it's kind of an extended question, David. I'm gonna do my best to answer it for you. As we try to get crypto accounts started for our foundation, Caleb and Brown requires a notarized testament certifying a copy of record. Uh, we said nothing of the matter involving crypto. Still no one comfortable signing as a notary at our credit union or at our courthouse for making a copy and certifying it with a notary signature that they've ever done this. And they referred us to a lawyer. So for the first part of your question, I had to do the same thing with Caleb and Brown. And um, what you have them do is just do a jurat to the testament that they witness you signing a document. Notaries should not be contesting what kind of a document that they're signing. They are just doing a personal testament as to seeing you you sign the document, and the name of the document is on the top of a jurat, which is an attached certification. And if you don't have a bank that can do a jurat or a credit union or a courthouse, I don't know what to tell you. It was no problem at all for me to go to UPS store and have a letter, and then on the jurat, the name of the letter, the date of the letter, and then the notary just attested seeing me sign the original letter. Um, it was very simple, and I've done this many times, so I don't know what the issue is. Maybe you were having them notarize the actual letter itself. Maybe you didn't have the correct wording for notary on the letter. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm not saying you did anything wrong. I'm just saying I don't know. But use a jurat. They're very familiar with the jurat. Just put the name of the document on the jurat, and you should be fine. Second portion of your question is, um, he then also wanted to know, first of all, who drew up the charter, none of his business, how old the charter is, it's right on the charter. And is this an original copy? Well, if he's looking at blue ink, you can make that assumption. So we do not wish or feel this needs to be disclosed to him. Good job. No, it's none of his business. So Caleb and Brown wanted to know this, or who? So Caleb and Brown gets a copy of the charter. They get a copy of the tax ID number. Disclosing that is not a problem. They don't get an original one. They get a copy, and it says how old it is. They don't need to know who drew it up. To say your private counsel, and that's it. These guys are not like the best, in the world at, you know, they're hiring off the street as fast as they can, giving them protocols and procedures and policies to hopefully maybe get these guys working, within a system that can onboard the millions of people that are coming their direction because of people like us and other people out there mentioning Caleb and Brown. But I have multiple Caleb and Brown accounts, and I gave them what they needed, and they opened them right up. Just FYI. Second question, with President Trump in the Oval Office, why do you think XRP would become illegal for the regular guy or anyone to hold or use? It is sold on Coinbase currently. How would they get away with that? I think what I said was that was a fear of mine, And it's a very valid fear. Um, and hold on. Sorry. It's a very valid fear for me. The reason why I say that is history repeats itself. You know, back in the 30s, nobody would have thought they'd have made it illegal to own gold. They did. Back in the tens or 15s, nobody would have thought they'd have been forced to put on masks, but they did. Nobody thought, and I'm talking about 1910, you know, with um, the pandemic 100 years ago, and then 10 years ago, 5 years ago, another pandemic and a pandemic, and nobody would have thought they would have tried to force masks. We don't know why they do what they do. It's and you know when they were replacing a solvent country or solvent corporation known as the United States with a bankruptcy. HJR 192 is the bankruptcy of the United States. House Joint Resolution 192 in 1933. They made it illegal to own gold 2 years before that. And what were they trying to do? Take the gold off the streets, turn it into the United States in replacement for a gold backed certificate, and make everybody feel happy and comfy. And but you weren't allowed to own more than 4 ounces of gold. Are you kidding me? I mean, it's like, what right do you have to tell me as an American that I can own or not own anything? I get it, maybe a bazooka, you know, but even then, it's like debatable. You know, it's like we have a right to bear arms. How far does the Second Amendment right to go? And I know I'm off track on that one, but the reality is it's the same. If you're a state citizen, you have a right to own anything you want. If you're a right as a United States of America citizen, you have the right to own anything you want. So there's a fear that I have. And when XRP is a banker's currency, which predominantly it is, and I think that's been long proven, and that the majority of the banks of the world are without a doubt coming together behind XRP. It's done. It's a done deal. It's not in the works. It's a done deal. So what is post-Trump, mid-Trump, late Trump? What is the offer that could be made? You know, turn in your stuff for 500 a coin. You know, I just think about all those things. Like if they were to make, if Trump or somebody or even post-Trump were to make XRP illegal, you would never see me turn in my currency, my XRP. Because, and I want you to understand something. I am not in their jurisdiction. I fall outside of their jurisdiction lawfully. And no company, no corporation, unless I am an employee of it, can tell me what to do. And so even a country that has laws that are repugnant to the foundation of this nation, Marbury versus Madison, those statutes, those codes, those laws are repugnant, meaning they don't exist. If they are non-existent if they are repugnant to the Constitution. And so I'm only saying this stuff to you guys because this is why I want you to get your cryptocurrency safe. You know, where we're utilizing a computer that we've never. I mean, I just bought this. I told you guys about this last week. I just bought this laptop, $300 at Costco. I'm gonna get Linux installed on it. Hopefully Linux works with the integration between my wallet. If it doesn't, I'm just gonna put a stripped down version of Windows on it. I'm gonna remove the ability to load up the majority of the programs when Windows opens. I'm gonna have a few different software pieces on it, just so when I go on and I'm on that computer only with my crypto. And the reason why people say that's nonsense, Kelby, no, it's not nonsense, guys. When you're holding millions of dollars on your device and you're logging into your phone and your phone has got apps on it that are keyloggers, you need to make sure you understand that every time you put in your code and you have that app open, somebody could literally take control of your screen. I just watched this and told you guys about this a couple of weeks ago. I saw a video of a guy and he didn't even realize what happened post the video. He just said, my screen went black. I went, I was trying to figure out why it was black, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, dude, your screen went black in the middle of connecting to your hard wallet. That is when you take your computer, because it's a notebook and it's got a battery in it, and you're connected to the internet through Wi-Fi. You got to take that computer and as fast as you can, jam it in a Faraday case and close that thing up and seal it as fast as you can so the transfers of your wealth stop. And I know these things are a bit out of touch for a lot of people to think that maybe it really exists. It does. It exists. And when you have millions of dollars in the coming years, it's going to be entire countries trying to steal the wealth of people, and entire regions of people trying to steal your wealth. And they're going to figure anything and everything they can to do it. So can a country, or would a country like Trump is not the end all, guys. Trump is doing a lot of exciting and amazing things. I'm super happy he is doing what he's doing. I have not yet seen anything relating to the addressing of how many millions of people have died due to what's happened in the last several years. I have not seen any. Have you seen an executive order on that? Let me know. I might be wrong. There might be some orders in there that are starting to move towards that, like, the ability for us to talk about government efficiencies and stuff like that. There might be the one with the NIH and, executive orders keeping them from doing anything further on their websites, anything further in the public, anything further with the media. Dude, bravo, love it. Is that dealing with the issue that we have, the glowing concern of the back end, which to me is the biggest thing on this planet. The biggest issue on this planet is the pharma. And and I'm being careful with what I'm saying right now for obvious reasons, but when you're live on YouTube, your exception of what you can say or not say is unfortunately limited. So but you understand what I'm getting at. And when 15 million people have died and they are listing that as the unknown cause of death, there's a bigger problem in this world than our need for crypto, or our need for a new world order, our need for, we need to address the whore in the room. We need to put the whore on a stake and burn her, kind of a thing. But that was probably the wrong analogy, but you know what I mean. So hold on, hold on one second. Sorry. So when I look at that and I see, all I'm doing is the would'ves, the could'ves, the maybes, because if you plant around that seeds and grow with that mindset of developing a security system around yourself, hey guys, look, I just took the two worst pictures off my deck that I've ever seen of chem spraying in the history of California. I have never seen in the last 12 days more chem being sprayed over our cities that I have in the last 12 days. Never. It's never, ever been this bad. And why is that not stopping? Why do we have haze all day long here in California? Why do we have fog all day long here in California? Those are things that you'd figure a sitting president, a sitting governor would have power over. And they're not discussing, they're not publicly mentioning it, they're not dealing with that. Um, that is the obvious smoking gun. That is the obvious elephant in the room. And we are not addressing the elephant in the room. We are just passively going through life, and Trump signing all these powerful executive orders. But the elephants that are obvious to us in the room, our health, our life, our future, our family, our security, our homes, they're being burnt down, they're being smoked out, and this show of, oh, I'm so, how dare Trump blame me on the water, and Gavin Newsom doing his little dance of, hey, we got investors for you guys, and I think it's really cool, and and it's exciting, and our whole world is going to be beautiful and clear, as he's standing in front of people's burnt out houses. I'm appalled. And I'm just like you, but those are the obvious that we've been dealing with, the forced this, the 15 million dead. Those are the obvious, and we're not dealing with that. Now, will we get there hopefully in the next year? We better. Otherwise, Trump is a part of the smoke and mirrors and a part of the show, and we're gaining a little bit of ground back that's ultimately going to lead us into a one world order. Look, you would have never thought Canada, Gulf of America. Hey man, that sounds cool. 51st state, Canada. That sounds really cool. But the reality is, you never would have thought Trump would be introducing Canada as a 51st state. Well, you know what tariffs do to a country like Canada and Mexico? Turns them into a broke ass state. Ass is in the Bible. Calm down. It does. And what is ultimately going to end up happening? Trudeau is gone. They have a new replacement coming. It could very well be Canada's a 51st state. And don't get me wrong, I would love to travel with my RV in a more extended region like Canada and have a lot of fun and meet my Canadian friends. And hey, hey, but that's like the start of the joining of Greenland. Oh, we need Greenland? We need Greenland too for, oh, okay. How about Europe, Trump? You know what I'm saying? Let's go for the 86th state. I mean, come on. And we're going to be cheering. Should we be cheering at the takeover of Canada or Greenland or the Gulf of America, which is the start of the takeover of Mexico? Should we be cheering? Am I excited about the fact that they're kicking out criminals? Yeah, I am. I'll be honest. I'm not excited about them kicking out illegal aliens. I'm just going to tell you my heart. I'm just going to tell you my heart. There's a lot of good men and women out there that deserve an opportunity. And I know I hear all the sounding boards deserve an opportunity. They should come here legally. I get it. I get it. We were privileged to be born here. I get it. Um, I don't believe in a swarm of 14 million people coming over our borders and living off of our system. I don't believe in that. That's not what I'm saying. I don't believe they should have health care. I don't believe they should have basic interests given to them. I don't wake up and have anything handed to me. I don't wake up and have anything gifted to me, and I have to work my butt off to make it happen so that I can earn a paycheck. And there's no reason why they can't either. There's no reason why they can't learn English. There's no reason why they can't become a citizen. There's no reason. As a matter of fact, I've helped quite a few people become a citizen of the United States. It's not that hard. Sometimes you need a sponsor, sometimes you don't. The point I'm trying to make is, coming to a country and expecting to live off of it, I don't agree with. Coming to a country and starting the process of immigration where you come into the nation lawfully, I agree with. But there are some people here that are hard workers, and maybe there's a concession we can make. Not the criminals, not the POSs out there that are breaking every law in the world, that are robbing, raping, pillaging, all over Beverly Hills, Newport Beach, Costa Mesa, Anaheim, Fullerton, all over California, all over the country. Not those. But maybe we should figure something out for people that want to work and put in time, because there are jobs that are available for them that common people here will not do, because laziness, I'll be the first to admit it. And so the bottom line is, maybe there's a more of a concession that can be made. Don't give them free anything. Don't give them free healthcare. No, I don't think anybody should be given free healthcare. I think that's a joke. I think that's a plot. Oh my God, I don't have healthcare. Oh my God, if I don't get injected, I'm going to need healthcare. That's a joke to me, to hear people, thinking like that. Do you know, in Canada, they are so sold out on the need for their healthcare system, on the need to go and see a doctor. They have lines when a new doctor's office opens in their social service healthcare system, that forced healthcare system. Doctor's office lines with a half a mile long. Like, I'm going to go wait in a line with more than 5 people to see a doctor. You know when that's going to happen? When my arm is about to fall off because I got in a car accident, not because I'm sick, not because I have tonsillitis, not because somebody said I had COVID, not because somebody said I have cancer, not because somebody said anything, any one of those. I'm going to stay at home and self-cure. And I'm going to do what it takes to self-cure. And and the only reason why I'm saying this to you guys is, so much is going on within relations to this nation and Trump. And I wanted to spend my 2 cents with you. You got me on Trump. I want to spend my 2 cents with you on some of the realities about Trump that we need to face. Are his executive orders exciting? Yeah, totally. They were probably pretty exciting for Hitler too. Hitler won the majority of the people. You have no idea what it looks like today in comparison to the history of that timeline, how similar it is. I'm not saying Trump is Hitler, but I don't think you even realize who Hitler was or what he maybe did or did not do. And I'm not saying the Holocaust didn't exist. Everybody calm down. All I'm saying is there's a lot of similarities, and there's a lot of things that, hey, Trump is saying the right thing. There will be no da 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 in the creation of central bank digital currencies. Boom. Yes. Yes. Beautiful. And I already know, no matter what, we're going into a world full of digital. We're already in digital. It's not that we're going in digital. We are already in digital. And so the fact pattern is multiple banks, multiple countries, multiple are creating their own digital currencies. And it's going to be first in line, first in time, who's going to get the right to be in the biggest and to be in the strongest and to have the strongholds. Well, yeah, I'm telling you, XRP is that company. And when you look at XRP, if it became a reserve on the treasury, against the treasury, they would have to make a revaluation of that coin. And here's what happens. If they were to take a block of billions of crypto and designate it to America, to put it against the treasury, basically what would end up happening is you would have to give a valuation of X. And I've been talking about how we're getting to the valuations of crypto over and over with you guys, specifically in the VIP morning huddles. So if you guys are not in the VIP morning huddles, we call them a morning motivational huddle. We don't just talk about motivational things. We talk about things that excel us. Cryptocurrency is a big thing on that. And just this morning, the entire dialogue was about cryptocurrency and the why. When you see something like XRP go from 50 billion of total market cap to 150 billion, you think there's been 100 billion of capital infused into XRP. And I don't know why I didn't think about it, but somebody explained it, and how much actual money is being infused into the system to get that new valuation of. So we went from 49 billion of total market cap for XRP in November to 150 billion of total market cap in XRP today. Well, the bottom line, it was 122 million total capital that was infused into the system that drove up XRP's price from 49 cents to $3 and whatever cents it got to. The point I'm trying to make is we now have Bank New York Mellon. We now have Bank of America. We have all of Japanese banks in the world turning on to the Ripple ledger. We have the United Airmints. We have the Federal Reserve. We have, and I mean the Federal Reserve. It's not going through XRP directly. It's going through XRP indirectly. We have the SWIFT going through XRP indirectly, but the SWIFT has already lost so much business to Ripple XRP because they can't perform and do what XRP can do. So when we're on those conversations and we're discussing it, and you realize that XRP's valuation went 500x or 5x and went up 500%. And it was only 122 million infused capital. It's very easy for me to see when a digital asset like birth certificates and mortgages and real estate and stocks and securities and corporate stocks all come onto the ledger. Got to remember something. The DTCC has been putting for the last 10 years, meaning they're almost done, if not done already, and they're just not announcing it. Putting on the ledger the all of the securities for all of the United States of America for the last 10 years. And what that means is when something goes on the ledger, that means the ledger has to be able to have an equivalent value to be able to move the dollar amount assets on the ledger in the event of it needs to be moved. So if something is, and it's going to be banks are going to be able to translate back and forth. By the way, every large scale commercial bank in the world is 100% behind tokenizing the world's assets, which means it's already done, which means XRP and the valuation of XRP, if it's going to go to 10,000, they're going to make people want to think that it's going to go to zero or that it's illegal or that you're not allowed to self-custody. And what I mean by self-custody, hold your own device, your own storage, cold storage on within a Faraday case. You're not going to be allowed to do this. If I knew that I could, by a wave of the hand, take another 2 or 3% off the table for the banks, for like if I was a banker and I could take it off the table for myself, and get that extra 2 or 3% from the people that own XRP that are non-banks, non-corporations, by waving a hand and saying it's illegal, then I would definitely probably do it. Meaning if I was a bank and I had that same evil mindset and so forth. Hold on one second. So I'm saying this because 10 years ago, if you would have told me that they're spraying the world with a nanoparticulate, and by the way, that spray, they're now releasing the studies that it's been something that they're going to do injections through inoculation, through through miniature micro nanoparticulates that will release the vaccines to and the mRNA code to your genes. Which means if they've released it, that's what they're already doing. I'm just saying that's the fact pattern that I'm used to, is if they're saying it in the public, it's already been done or their mind's made up and they're already putting it out. So when I look outside and, I'm going to show you a picture. I just took this picture. It's appalling, man. It's disgusting. It pisses me off. Guys, this is right now. And this is my neighborhood. Sorry. Welcome to California. Oh, that's natural. Oh, that's natural. Everybody calm down. Yeah, there's no such thing as chem spray. Yeah, that's purely natural, right? I mean, come on, bro. The haze over LA, you can literally see the haze against the mountains across the way. You can see the haze all the way to the ground. You can see the haze 100 feet out from your house looking down the street. You can see the haze. It is 4:30 in the afternoon. The sun has been out all day in California. It is not cold, and we have cloud haze. Look, just to put this to rest for the dummy people, that if you go to Google and you type chemtrails, truth or fiction, the first 10 articles are debunking it. And I know there's one or two of you out there that are going, yeah, because it's not real. No, you're a flipping idiot. All right. That is not contrails. Contrail is like taking a shower, and the shower and the heat after you turn off the shower and get out of it, it starts expanding through your house and gets bigger, and then it goes out your front door and down the street, and you start affecting your neighbor's house with your contrails from your shower. It's the same principle. So you're wanting people to believe, and by the way, guy, listen, you haven't done the research if you don't believe in chemtrails at this point. By the way, if you do the research, you'll find the laws that allow it. Number one. Number two, you'll find the full disclosure from the pilots and the government. They've already disclosed of what they are doing. Full disclosures already happened. It's the general public. They just don't want to know. The people that aren't doing the research aren't going to the press releases, aren't going to the law itself, and or making a discovery. So what they're doing now is insinuating that they're going to do injections through inoculation, through what I just showed you on my phone. This is right now. I just took this before I started this call. I was upset. I went out, took a picture from my balcony. I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious? So is there something that would make me want to move from California? Yeah. Yeah. I can't get fire insurance. I can't get water to my hydrant. I see the hill across the way burning. Yeah, of course I'd probably want to move. Geez, what are they doing, man? And Trump's in office. Yeah, I get it. It's only his what, 15th, 20th day, whatever it is. Can't get it all done. I know I'm not trying to get him to get it all done. Oh, yeah, I am. But if we don't hear about this stuff in the next 4 years, if it doesn't become mainstream, if the forced this and the 15 million people don't get brought to the altar of conversation, and if we don't get the conversation or the dialogue about the chem spray, then there is an issue with Donald Trump. And he is a part of the system, and he's slow walking us into a world order, like with the takeover of Canada, like with the takeover of Greenland. I think that we need to be very careful because he wants to institute 5G. He wants to institute and further along AI. You know what? With AI, we're already screwed, guys. I go on Google and type how many AIs have gone rogue. AI has already figured out how to not let you take it down. That means there's computers across the world that are housing AI, and AI is a brain functionally, yes, yes. It's a brain that's functionally operating on its own through the blockchain, through people's community computers, through the Internet of Things, and it will not be taken down. AI, yes. Built on one machine here, figured out how to get over to here and run. That AI. That AI. I'm not kidding when I say that. That's a big issue. So maybe Trump's doing some 5D chess, and everybody wants to think about that. Hey, Trump's a 5D chess player. He's a baller. He's this. Well, let's become responsible. And yeah, okay, great. So let's build an AI to track down AI and kill AI. All right. All right. Are the things that he is saying that I love? Yes. Did I love him doing a press conference while he signs executive orders dismantling everything the last 4 years has done? Oh, God, yes. Did I love it when he did it in an auditorium in front of a lot of people where they cheered on every single one? Yes. But you know what? I guess I'm going to have it explained to me why we're still not talking about the elephants in the room when I get to see him someday, somehow. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not privy to that. I'm not I'm not the White House press secretary who's not privy to much either, you know. But do I love what I'm hearing? Yeah, some of it, most of it, you know. I don't I don't I don't want to send everybody home or back across the border whose family and lives might be affected, but they are here illegally and there is a way for them to come here legally. Now, what about us? You know, are we going to fit all those jobs? No, dang well no, you're not. You know, you dang well know you're not. And by the way, somebody just posted, you can for 17 bucks an hour pick fruit, pick some strawberries in the field. You know, that's a good living. California, you can go get a job at McDonald's for 20 bucks an hour with an ITIN number and an ID. And they will give everybody an ITIN number and an ID. There's no excuses why they can't integrate into our systems and help the economy. It's the POSs, it's those guys that we need to stop and get them out of here. And I think that's the first targets, and I think that's what's been going down. So I got to give Trump kudos, man. It's pretty awesome and all the stuff that he's doing. So I'm not going to complain. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying the white elephant in the room, the white elephants in the room are not being addressed. You know, how do you hide an elephant in a strawberry patch? Paint their toenails red. Remember that when you were a kid? And you're, it's not that funny because it's pretty obvious the dang elephant is still in the room and it's not hiding. That's my point. Third question, is it legal to use a foundation to gift my family members the allotted gift of $17,000 annually, the same way any person gifts to another person under the same rules, either person's legally not having to record it or report it? I assume not. That's a great question. You know, um, I would ask the CPA that question, but a lot of times CPAs get the answers wrong and they will point to their own code and don't understand how the code exactly is written or what an individual is or what a person is and such. If you can gift to a family member 17 grand a year, first and foremost, I would like to be adopted. Um, but utilizing a foundation now is, are they going to be receiving it as a foundation? And you're saying the foundation to gift a family member. No, the foundation's already done the tax exempt gift receipt of the funds. So the foundation is not a person, it's not a citizen. The foundation is not a party to the IRS. So the foundation can't gift to anybody anything for the purposes of a tax benefit. But the foundation can give to anybody at any time a gift of whatever amount of money that you want and have it be tax exempt. The foundation is not a party to the United States and it is not income received, whether personally or in a foundation. So if an individual were to receive $17,000 a year from a foundation, it would not be considered income. You guys got to understand, money in a bank account, according to the IRS code, according to enrolled agents and CPAs that I have talked to, money coming in a bank account is not income. I know many people want you to think it is, including many CPAs. They are wrong. It is not income. So, yeah, a foundation can gift anything to anybody at any dollar amount and have it be tax exempt for the individual. But if the individual were to have another foundation themselves and it'd be going foundation to foundation, you're just adding another layer of Kevlar to the vest. Okay, next question. By what means can a humanitarian foundation pass inheritances of directors to their children lawfully if everything we own is tied up in the foundation? So what you need to do is write what's known as uh, like a standard operating agreement within the foundation. So it's more like a will and testament of the foundation, kind of like a thing like that. And um, and if you need help with something like that, write your last will and testament down, and we can put it in a form, for whatever fee, not a huge fee, to help you get it into the foundation appropriately. It's not difficult. So all you're doing is you're one of two things. You're either going to designate new directors, new managing directors, new board of directors, and or you're going to designate upon the death of executive director how an asset is to be held and when an asset is to be turned over into whom. Now, obviously, guys, look, if you have assets in a foundation, like a home, really that's the asset everybody worries about. Do not take the asset out of the foundation when you turn it over to your kids. Leave it in the foundation because it's like a living trust. It never perishes. So when you pass, your kids become the executive and managing directors and are going to receive an appropriate amount of money based on the assets, based on your standard operating agreement within the foundation. So you just need to write it out, pencil it out, and you can do it yourself. Um, and here's the thing that I would do: anything that you're going to do on that regard, get it notarized and get it dual witnessed, notarized and dual witness as to the intent. And you're going to make a meeting and bylaws attaching it to that you guys have voted and agreed upon that. And so now your foundation's in good standing, and it's created the end of life scenario of one or more of the managing or executive directors. So I hope that helps. I'm reading the balance of your question. Hold on. I think I addressed it all. Good. All right. So I'm going to go to the Q&A first. I recently deeded my house from an LLC into the foundation. Is it important to change my utilities into the foundation's name or leave them in the LLC's? No, change everything. And the reason why I'm saying that is because any income coming into the foundation can pay all of that. And you don't want to cross things over with an LLC. Why would the LLC be paying your bills versus the foundation if the foundation owns the home? And those are the bills relating to the home. Next question. I've not filed taxes since about 1992. Pretend this is alcohol. Here. I'm sorry, I don't drink. And haven't received a thing from the IRS. I've heard you mention sending in revocation of election, to which I've never done. Do you suggest I do this? You're not going to wake up a sleeping horse. You're already dead to them. But yeah, I do recommend that. And your worst case scenario is you put that into the public, like people that are going through our living in the private process. One of the new things that we're creating is a public recordation that would do not just a self-certification of what you did with the active state, but we're going to be certifying that the processes that you went through were in line with what is required to remove yourself from the United States and from the IRS and from the SSA. And we'll check those boxes as we go down and then publicly record that onto the back end of one of our site servers. And so you don't need to necessarily send it directly to them. You put it into the public, and then you can just serve them with a letter notice, and they won't know what to do with that. I've recorded the revocation of election here. Here's a certified copy of that, and you're done. But Patrick, as you know, the revocation is a good start. It's a really good start, but it's only dealing with the IRS. It's not dealing with the passport. It's not dealing with the DMV. It's not dealing with the other contracts to which they get subject matter jurisdiction on. So when you read a warrant or an indictment or anything of the like, you got to review that. Like, how are they gaining subject matter jurisdiction over a state citizen? And it's generally utilizing the United States Post Office and your willingness to be an employfully, that's pretty bad. And you're willing to be an employee of the United States to one degree or another. Like they come after you as a driver, they come after you as a taxpayer, they come after you as an employee with the SSA, they come after you as a voter with your voter's license, they come after you as a gun registrar or whatever they call it, firearms owner. because of that contract, but it's all of the adhesion contracts. So I'm only saying this to you because you should consider all things if you're coming out. Do I think BlackRock is going to control XRP as they do most real estate in the United States, as many others? Okay, first question. No. BlackRock is a powerful entity. They don't own the majority of the real estate. They own, along with a few other companies, um, about a quarter. And there's a lot of real estate owned by Bill Gates. There's a lot of real estate owned by other people as well. Um, I will agree with they own a substantial amount. Um, I don't think they are in control of XRP. I think that there's plays that are being done in the background that are so large, that is going to allow for uh, many different companies and banks like BlackRock and that are in control of large assets. Like BlackRock controls about 14 trillion. I know people say 10, it's about 14 or 15, my understanding. And um, Bank New York Mellon has 54 trillion. They're the biggest. But they only have 2 trillion of their own. It's other banks' assets that, Bank New York Mellon's kind of like a Papa Bank. Other banks use them for processing, holding assets, all kinds of things. It's like they're a custodian bank. And so Bank New York Mellon is for sure coming onto with all of their assets to ledgers to digitalize and tokenize all of their 54 trillion. So is BlackRock. BlackRock is pushing hardcore right now for the entire stock market. And I've heard the same rumors that everybody else is BlackRock to invest 9 trillion into XRP. Well, the reality is if BlackRock does a deal with XRP, and it is definitely in the works, that's the rumor mill. If BlackRock does a deal with XRP, the majority of the assets, if you go and review why BlackRock is pushing the stock market to digitalize, tokenize their stocks, it's because the majority of their assets, if they were to be pushed onto a ledger controlled by XRP, controlled by them actually, pushed onto a ledger that they can control utilizing Ripple's technology, which is the ledger and XRP. Any XRP that they would hold, which would be substantial, they would be first and foremost, their assets would become tokenized. So hence 14 trillion in assets would now be sitting on a ledger. So when people say BlackRock to invest 9 trillion into XRP, maybe they're meaning that they're going to put the majority of their assets, 9 trillion, that are sitting on a stock exchange or in stocks or whatever, onto a ledger, which is again giving XRP value and Ripple control, more so of being the world's leading cross-border payment solution, remittance bank. Now, by the way, Ripple is now a bank with the ABA, American Bank Association. They now have all kinds of special licenses under FinTech and FinCEN and in New York and further on. And so it's exciting to watch what's about to play out. And the reason why at the beginning of the conversation, just FYI, when you take a look at XRP and what it could be, and you take a look at the opportunities that we have in front of us with being a holder of XRP at just a few dollars, it's very easy to see if a company comes in with literally 1 trillion in cash, or a bank comes in with 1 trillion in cash and they're moving this across borders, which is what they do all the time. Remember, 122 million in cash was the total infusion between November and today, 122 million. And that's what gave it the 100 billion pump. Just for the record, when you're looking at the map or the candlesticks on the stock market, you see the ups and downs. And you take a look at the up, and then it goes almost all the way down. Then it goes up, and then it goes almost all the way down, and it goes up. But you see the valuation of the crypto and the amount of money that is now going in on a daily basis through the crypto. You're looking at a crypto now with a from a market standpoint with 147 or 150 billion going through as a market cap. And the reality is, if you take the up and you minus out the down, you're left with 122 million between November and January, which is why to hear that many different companies and countries and large financial institutions are saying we are tied to Ripple and we're turning this engine on in March. That's the date. ISO 20022 compliant currencies and all banks are going live in March. Start your engines. It is feasible to see a 500x in the last 2 months with 122 million. What would just 1 trillion do of actual market capital infused into XRP's ledger or XRP itself? What would you see? You would see a massive increase in the valuation of XRP, massive. And the market, the daily market cap rate for XRP will go in the trillions and no longer in the billions. Takes 1,000 billion to get to a trillion. Currently, we're at 147 billion. So if you see a trillion in cash, remember it was only 122 million to get it up 100 billion. 122 million to get it up to 100 billion. From 47 to 150 billion over the last 2 months. So what would 1 trillion of cash do to the total market cap of crypto for XRP? And what would the valuation of XRP be? People are speculating in the tens of thousands. Some guys are saying in the hundreds of thousands of dollars per coin. I personally do see a $10,000 per coin easy as you analyze and look at this from just it's how it makes sense. You're only, and David Schwartz, the CTO of Ripple, and many other people, including all of the, I just showed it this morning on the motivational huddle this morning, the Japan banking system, the major leader of Japan, stating when it clicks on, we're going to go big and our investment rate of return is going to be huge because they own the biggest stake in Ripple, which is XRP. And so that's why all of Japan is going live with XRP being its exclusive cross-border payment solution. That's why the United Arab Emirates is exclusively using XRP. That's why you're going to hear Donald Trump make a reserve. Listen to me, when this happens with real USD, RLUSD, holy crap, XRP's valuation is going to go pump like you wouldn't believe. When we become a core part of the treasury of the United States and we're holding XRP ourselves, you're going to be holding the new coin for the nation. That's how I feel. Because it's tagged to the dollar. So the valuation of XRP is going to pump overnight because it's got to be able to handle the debt load of the debt of the United States. Remember, XRP can only take in 2 things on the ledger, XRP and debt. What is everything everybody's handing XRP? Ripple's ledger, debt. That's every single country, company in the world. That's all they're handing to XRP is debt. So for it to pump something out on the other side, when you understand how this works, banks own their, if banks are operating on the XRP ledger, they own XRP. And so for them to push through, it's a guarantee because they're holding XRP. They're now able to push through on that ledger an equivalent amount of money, and XRP has to have an equivalent amount on their ledger to be able to pump it through to the other side, to the other receiving bank, which means everybody's going to come to an agreement of the valuation of XRP to be phenomenally huge. I hope that helps. Next question. Does BlackRock have shares in Ripple? It hasn't, I don't know, it hasn't been publicly released as far as I know. Did you hear the BlackRock? Well, yeah, I did. Stressed. Who is your referral at Caleb and Brown? I would actually refer to you, Kraken, right now. And I'm doing another deal with another big company. It's not in the works yet, but within 1 week it will be. But you can go to Kraken right now and get on Kraken utilizing a foundation. But we do have people at Caleb and Brown, and it all depends on what you're willing to give them. They need to source the capital. That seems to be the issue with about 50% of the members. They can't source the capital that they have that they're trying to give. Elizabeth. I've tried to open a Stripe account for my foundation so I could receive payments, but it does not have a tax ID number registered with the IRS. So they would not allow me. Any ideas we can open up? No, you need a tax ID number for the foundation. How come you don't have a tax ID number for your foundation is the question. We would have given you one if you got the foundation with us. I would like to get into tax liens. Any thought on this? Tax liens to purchase the tax lien and take a hold of the land. I know people doing that right now. I don't like it personally, but there are some cases where I would absolutely take it. If the people have left the land, I would take it over. Next question. I recently tried to get an account with Coinbase and I stopped when I got to the SSNID. Can I continue onboarding of cancel? Do you have any exchanges available? Eddie, you just give the social and the tax ID so you can get the account open and donate the crypto to your foundation. Don't worry about it. It's not how you buy, it's how you liquidate. Next question. Has anybody at HISAdvocates seen employer get a lock-in letter indicating that they have enrolled the employee into withholding compliance program, demanding that they start withholding taxes by their indicated date? No, I don't know of anybody that's done that. Also, why should I not recontract with an I-9 and W-8BEN? You sure in the heck could, but you have to have gone through a living in the private type program so that you are a state citizen and you cannot bring a social to that table. I have my passport for you in the process of sending IRS docs. Haven't started SSA yet, but doing my best to get it all out. Obviously, I'm not going to consent to this compliance program. And good. At least you got it. That it's an offer. Okay. It's not anything by the law. Can I get any info y'all have on to buy, store XRP? There's a lot we've done with the VIP members and showing them if you need help with somebody to help you. We have guys that are very inexpensive, not that work for us, they're independent, that would love to get your name and number and help you for $100, $200 to purchase and get and acquire XRP and put it on a hard wallet. The hard wallet itself is going to be about $70 to about $200 depending on the one you purchase. But you can reach out to our support ticket system and ask for a name and number, and we'll be more than happy to give that to you. I have a public notary commission Iowa that is about to expire in March. Somebody that's been working on living in the private. Do you recommend I do not renew my commission? If you got a need for it, you got to realize something. Renewing your commission is nothing more than a payment and a new signature that says non-assumption on it. I got the notary service company to print my name on an embosser with only the first letters of my name capitalized. Well, you got to remember the notary is the birth certificate. You are, I mean, that's fine, Zenny, but you didn't do anything wrong, but you are as a living woman, you really can't take that position. When you're doing a position of a notary with an upper and lowercase letter, you're really showing that you're holding the office of the artificial person. So just make sure that you sign it non-assumptive, okay? And that's your keys to the Ferrari, to the being free. Part two of the taxing question. I'm in Florida. If that mattered for the first question, it doesn't matter. My only question to you, Eddie, is you're talking about paying tax liens for properties that are in distress, so you can take them over. That's my question, because I know a lot of people that do that, but they don't do it to people that are living in it. They do it to people that are out. But I had a guy buy 900 acres in Arizona for 250,000. It has the largest reserve of gold ever recorded in the world, estimated trillions in gold on it. Good for him. My active state apostille was denied in Michigan and all my papers were sent back. Is this common? It's not a common occurrence, but it's happening in a few places. One of the recommendations I would do is you can continue to try to get it recorded at a county recorder on a miscellaneous. You can, there's, what I did was I made a post on a blog post on HISAdvocates.org, and I had about 20 responses of different places you can get it recorded. One of the things that we're hopefully doing in the next couple of weeks is going to have a place where you can record on the back of our site, and it'll be a certified and a self-certified, because you've already self-certified the active state, but we're going to actually do a certification of the docs themselves and certify that it's in public, and give you a PDF copy, and then something you can just print out as a true original copy of the docs. But the bottom line is we would need a full original copy, and we put a cover letter on it. We do a watermark throughout the docs, and we would then record them. But we're about 2 weeks from doing that. But you can find the blog and find other places to get it done. Phone number to Caleb and Brown. Do me a favor, spin a support ticket for that. The EIN is not registered with the IRS. Then it's not an EIN. I'm a Californian. If I move to Texas, would I have to change myself to a Texas state citizen? Impossible. You're a Californian for life living in Texas. Why is Elohim not capitalized like Elohim in paperwork? Man of Elohim, I know I'm the only person who would ever ask. It's okay, Craig. Do me a favor. Whatever you think you need to change, go ahead and change. There's an opinion about capitalization versus non-cap, and I get it. My thought processes are very different than a lot of people, but anything that you feel like you need to change, go ahead. I'm not sure which necessarily which document you're speaking of exactly, but that's kind of a question that would result in a lengthy conversation. I know people in the Bible would use all caps for YHWH, and to me, in law, all caps is a slave. And so, if I were to write my Lord's name down, I would not be putting it in caps. I would, out of respect, and he would understand in my heart why. I would want him to be the ultimate King of Kings, and according to law, that would be in all lowercase. Now, that would be a disagreement for people that maybe wrote the Bible, but it wouldn't be a disagreement for people that understood our laws with capitis maximus and capitis minimus. I hope I'm saying that right. I hope I answered your question. I still have a credit card in my name. Should I close it? I don't use credit. If you don't use it, you're okay. You should keep it there for an emergency purpose only. Should you buy real USD? No, real USD is something that you may want to pull out of the volatility of another coin or another currency, and you want to put it into a stable coin. It's like a dollar. It's going to go up and down, but it's not going to be volatile like a stock or a crypto. And so if you were to transfer 100 grand into real USD, tomorrow there's going to be 100 grand there, even if the crypto markets dropped, you're still going to have 100 grand. And the reason is because real USD is going to be backed by the United States. Already is. Isn't that interesting? I like that. What is the process of putting a lien on yourself in order to be the first collector? Well, if it's on yourself or on your home? On yourself or on your home? Okay, I'm going to go through the comments now. Home deed in the foundation name. Anyone having issues? Okay, so is that insurance on the structure? No. Finding that I need a commercial policy? No. Car title in the foundation name. Tags. Anyone having issues with the insurance in this format? No. The insurance is on you. They're doing a lost payee to the foundation. That's it. How are we doing tag renewal in the foundation name if we transfer title to the foundation? You're just paying it through the foundation. That's it. If it's already transferred to the foundation, tag renewal is just paying it. A lien on the straw man himself. A lien on the straw man himself. There are people that do processes like that, and they do UCC ones, and they put them in the public, and then they do fee schedules behind it. I don't really do that because I don't really have a need to. Straw man, for the most part, belongs to them. I mean, obviously, we have a vested interest in it, but there are ways to put a lien on a straw man. I did it, and I actually removed my signature from it a long time ago. I use Lineage OS on my Android phone, and Tandem app works fine. Awesome. Do you have to think BlackRock is going to control? Okay, so you put that there too. I believe once RFK gets confirmed, as well as Tulsi Gabbard, Cash Patel this week. Guys, look, Marcus, I agree with you, brother. By the way, I'll see you tomorrow at 12 with Evie. I agree with you, Marcus, 100%. I love Cash Patel. Close Hoover, baby. Close them. Fire them all. Well, all the bad guys. All the bad guys. I like Tulsi too, man. She is so bad arse. I love it. She crushes it. Agreed. My son-in-law is here on asylum since he was 8 years old and works and is positive, productive member of society now. Has a qualifier for CIT, but no on suckers hooks. I didn't see a question there. Do you think that it will pay off the national debt in XRP? I don't know, man. I don't know. They will do anything, just to continue on their control of the world. You got to understand, guys, the world leaders, the world order guys are not letting go of their control. But it's pretty cool to see how many people at Davos are scared of Trump. It is pretty cool to see that. I got to admit that. How can we accept crypto payments in the foundation? Just make sure your foundation purchased your hard wallet and make sure that you're giving the different wallet addresses on your hard wallet for the different cryptocurrencies, and that's accepting crypto payments into the foundation. I have XRP and Coinbase. Is that bad? No, it's not bad, Donald, but if it were me, I'd make sure that I put it on a hard wallet. I would get it off the exchange servers fast. How about yeah, let's see, praise. I'm looking for questions. So I'm skipping over stuff, guys. Hold on. I got an account with Stripe, but it was a fight for a second. Guys, I got an account with Stripe, and they wanted to shut me down after 10 years of doing business with them. I wrote one letter and it was over with, and the day before they were going to shut us down, they left it on. Thank you very much for answering the questions. I do wonder about the elephant in the room. I remember now that there were plans pre-Trump for the deep state to make all of North America one mass for control, which looks like Trump is doing for them. Or for somebody, maybe feels like, if he does it first, he's in control, with the structure, the style. I don't know. But here's the point of it all. You can't fix the corporation. We have to repair and replace with the republic. You can't fix it. So buying something and putting it into as a 51st state, of the corporation. But then you look in the law, and the corporation doesn't have title to the states. The corporation only has title to territories on the states, rights. But the corporation does have title to Guam, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, those other territories. They are part of the corporation. How and why not are they not a part of America? I don't know. But this does look like another deep state tactic with another AI representation rollout of Peter not knowing what Paul's doing, and we thought Paul was the bad guy. Here comes Peter, the good guy, and you know what I mean? It's like it's all the same objective, and that's the problem I have. Is it all looks and smells the same. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of good things that Trump is doing. It feels like he's a good guy. It does. It feels like he's a good guy, and it feels like he's so pissed off. And there's guys actually out there, and they're somewhat um telling the truth when they say they don't believe Trump ever left office. And they think that Trump and this administration currently is just a continuum of the last administration, and that they wanted to see who in the deep state was going to allow and do the things that they were doing. And they're proving this on some pretty interesting things, like where Biden left he normally president would leave from the White House lawn and fly away. He didn't. He left from the Capitol and flew away. There's all kinds of weird things that point to the fact that Biden was never the president. A lot of weird things. I don't get it. When he first took office, he was getting onto a 747 that was not Air Force One, and it said United States and a seal, and it was like a long, skinny plane. It wasn't Air Force One or Air Force 1.1. There's two Air Force Ones. It wasn't either one of them. So where was Air Force One when Biden first got into office? Why wasn't Secret Service around Biden when he first got in the office? There was all kinds of bull crap going on. Well, that's understandable. January 6th was going on. There was kind of a quasi coup going on in DC, and they were trying to build that whole narrative up. And let's go arrest all the participators in it. 1,500 people got held for whatever amount of years. We don't know what's going on, is my point. The only thing that we know is what's right in front of us. Now, if I can have some crypto and I can get it on a hard wallet and I can hold it, and I can get some gold and get some silver, and I can get my title in my house and I can pull it out of the public and keep it in the private, and I am now a king. I'm a bank. I've got food, I've got water. I'm working on some things, guys, for myself and for HISAdvocates members that are next level. You guys all know, especially you VIP members, you know what we're working on. And the bottom line is, I can't control those things that I see falling out of the sky. But there's somebody online that's teaching me through some copper rods, supposedly, that you can clear the sky. If you put copper rods into the ground, you fill them up with water, you can clear the sky above your house from these chemical trails. How? I don't know. But there's a lot of things that I don't understand that allows for frequency and technologies that work on the human body, work in the bigger picture of the earth and the air and what's going on. I will try anything to self-contain. I love California. I love the people for the most part in Orange County, especially in the area that I'm in. I can't stand some other states. And I've never been one to want to wake up in snow, maybe for a week. But who knows? I might think different getting into a remote area. There's something about solitude and silence. I'm one of those guys that watches those shows where people build their own houses up in the forest. I'm that guy. And I watch every little inch of that show, how they build it, what they put on the interior, how they're getting their food, where they're getting their food, where they're growing their food, how they're growing their food. I'm that guy. I got a full garden and it's beautiful and I love it and I'm happy. Now I want to make sure no chem spray and chemicals are falling. And do I already know they are? Yeah. Am I able to do much about it? I'm going to try. Anyway, I'm that guy. So, but I love California. I don't want to lose my lifestyle, my way of living, my friendships because somebody wants to force me out. But literally I kind of feel like we're getting burned out. We're getting smoked out. We're getting chemmed out. And I got to consider that. Anyway, next question. After deeding my house to the foundation, I'm now redoing the homeowner's insurance. They want to double bill me once the homeowners and once for me being the renter. What do you suggest to insure? No, just tell them it's a trust and you didn't change the deed. It's just you entrusted yourself into the foundation name, and they shouldn't at all double your rate, try to commercial insure you and try to make you a renter. That's total BS. There's a thing on a deed when you're transferring a property into the foundation. It's called, it depends on the state, but it's called an in-house transfer that will not raise the taxes, raise anything. It's just showing that you're still in control. Okay. How do I transfer to a hard limit? Donald, post a support ticket. It's a little bit more than this show can handle, but post a support ticket and we'll give you a name and number of a guy that can help you. Yeah, I hope you're right, David. I really do. XRP pump was not only 112 million in volume, it was literally over 200 billion in volume. No, you misunderstand. Glow 000100 on YouTube. XRP's pump was 122 million in cash, not 112 million in cash. But the related cash amount infused the total market cap of XRP from 47 billion to 150 billion. I was correct. What needs to be understood is people buy, people sell, people buy, people sell, creating the candlestick on the chart. The total infusion of cash into the market cap of how much people actually bought is 122 million from the previous at 47 billion. So yes, it pumped to 150 billion. You are correct. It went up 100 billion, but it was due to 122 million in overall capital. That is great news for us. Helps you to understand that there's buys and sells and buys and sells, and that's the pump driving up the price. It's the buys and the sells, but overall, 122 million, go check it out, I'm right, was the total amount invested to bring it up at 100 billion because of the buys and the sells. People bought it, but they sold it, and then they bought it, and then they sold it. Not the same people, different people. So people are making gains. So the total amount that it was brought up was by 122 million. Hope that helps. That's huge. I'm going to do a show on that, and I'm going to explain it out and show people literally. Okay, we got a question. Living in the private program for me, instead of paying you beforehand, could we do an agreement as debt and you be paid for this with SSN money? Um, are you asking us to be paid through your birth bond account for this? Because everybody does a contract with us where they make a payment. SSN money, I don't know what that means. But if you're trying to get your birth bond to pay for us, we're not a public company. So we're not Comcast Cable. We're not, Southern California Edison. We're not a public company. So therefore we can't take public funds. This is a private debt. That's why your coin, your wallet, your FRN says this is legal tender for all debts, public and private. We're private. And so we only can take cash. We do take barter. We take crypto. We take gold. We take whatever. We also take payments on cash. So if somebody has an issue and they can't make a full payment, for sure, we'll take payments. But we're not taking public funds off the treasury, which I've had people ask before. Hope that helps. I'm going down. You said yes. Is that so? I was correct in what I was assuming. Kathleen, yeah, I know. Building cabins in the forest. I wish I built them 30 years ago too. But, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. Maybe we'll be able to buy a big enough slot of land and just have chembusters all over the land, a little bit of oasis for ourselves. Anyway, um, Glow 0110, volume since November 3rd on a monthly, candles in billions. I'm not talking candles. I'm talking cash infusion, 122 million. And I'm willing to bet you $1,000 that I am right and that you're misunderstanding the fact that 100 billion did not go into XRP. 100 billion was infused into it, but 99 billion and whatever the balance is left on those cells. What was left is a total infusion of 122 million. I'm right. I'm right. I'm right. And I'm going to do the Kelby dance because I'm right. Anyway, this isn't rocket science. The only thing you're counting, Glow 0110, is the infusion. I'm counting the exit, and the leftover is the balance. That's the Kelby dance. I know it's an ugly one. I'm sorry. That's the white man's overbite, baby. All right, guys, be blessed, man. Have a great week. I'll see you in 2 weeks on the Q&A. Just FYI, I'm gonna go live. I know I keep saying this. I battle myself going live on the HISAdvocates TV on Tuesdays. I'm gonna go live tomorrow on Tuesday. We also got the Man Cave on Thursday with Carmel and I. So please join us, hang out. Tomorrow night's gonna be a rant. We're gonna have some fun. God bless you guys. Have a great week, and I'll see you in 2 weeks for the Q&A.